This podcast was recorded on Gadigal land. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land and pay our respects to elders both past and present. Always was, always will be.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 8.
Episode 8, got it right this time.
Yes, I did. Still in Bali.
Look at this, isn't this beautiful?
Different room. We've changed rooms.
We have.
And we've changed as people.
Well, yes, you just participated in the couples retreat I was running here. And I'm sure I'm changed every time I run it too.
How was it? How did you find it?
As amazing as ever. Yeah, like seriously. I mean, this place, Bamboo Indah, look it up, BAMBUINDAH. We should link it.
We will, in the show notes.
Stunning. It's ecotourism at its finest. Luxury, just natural. The life force energy is just so palpable here. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it's just the most beautiful place. In fact, the participants were saying, we see why you chose this place. Like, it's just so perfect.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
How'd you find it?
Good. I didn't participate in every single workshop because I'm well acquainted with the content. But yeah, it was nice. All the couples had noticeable changes.
They certainly did.
They all seemed happier and more in love and relaxed by the end of it. And it's just interesting to see such a diverse group of people all benefit from this because everyone benefits from having a good sex life regardless of background. Like, I think there were people from Singapore.
Yeah.
And there were people from like
America and England.
Yeah, America and England.
New Zealand, Australia, different parts of Australia.
Yeah, big age range as well.
Yep, from a couple who were engaged through to a couple that had been together for like nearly 40 years, maybe 40 years.
Yeah.
People with different age children, no children, sort of, adult children, grandchildren even, I think, not sure. Yeah. Really good. I don't know. I might seem a little bit tired today because, 5 days of leading a group like this, like it's so wonderful and it's so fulfilling and it's so beautiful. But it's also a little bit tiring. So we're just spending the weekend having a bit of a rest here, but thought this was such a beautiful environment that we would do another podcast here.
Yep. Here we are. And what are we talking about today?
Today we are going to talk about seeing your partner as lover.
Mm-hmm. Just continuing on from last week, 3 legs. We're going to dive deep into the lover leg today.
Yes. Yeah, effectively it's the lover leg. So if you haven't listened to last week's podcast, well, I'll do a little brief recap before we get
but you
stuck
still
into
definitely should listen to it.
Should listen to it. Should listen to all of them.
But before we get too ahead of ourselves,
Dun, 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 dun.
what was your most erotic moment of the week?
What was my most erotic moment of the week? Oh my God, it's like it's been nonstop erotic, really. I mean, in terms of how we use erotic, which is kind of like life force and goodness and joy and bliss
embodiment
and all of that. So since I've been here on my own, it hasn't been a particularly sexual week for me personally. Well, the odd private moment with myself, which I think we should do one on solo sex. Very important thing. But there were so many moments with the couples. So we're in this beautiful yoga shala on the edge of the river and it's all made of bamboo. But there was one activity in particular that we did that really got to me. Because the thing is sometimes, the couples are doing these activities and I'm in the middle of it. So it's like I'm picking up on all the energy.
Interesting.
That's being generated.
That makes sense.
Yes. So they were all sitting in a position called yab yum.
Mm-hmm. Excellent position. Look it up.
Yeah. It's basically, these are all hetero couples. So the man was sitting down and then the woman sits in his lap with her legs wrapped around. And they're connecting.
Yab yummy.
They're yab yumming. It's as close as you can get. Yeah. And I taught them how to circulate energy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I always say, whether you believe that there's energy circulating in the body or not, it's a fabulous embodiment exercise. Right. But people feel stuff. They just do. Anyway, so they're circulating the energy between them and so forth, and they're using different parts of the body to transfer the energy across. And it was just divine. Like, it was so still and so beautiful, but so rich and so charged at the same time. And I'm surrounded by all this beautiful jungle greenery, and there's this low, slow river running past, and you could just hear a little bit of some really cool music coming down from the sunset bar, which was above us.
Yeah. It's quite an excellent audio soundscape.
Yeah. And it was just, I really just don't have words for what it was like. Yeah, it was so beautiful. And then when we had the feedback afterwards, like everyone was just like, wow, that was freaking amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's going to be my most erotic moment of the week.
I love that you got to soak up all of their goodness as well.
Yeah, it's lovely. It keeps me going. It feeds me.
A perk.
Definitely it is a perk. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yep. And how about you, my darling? What was your most erotic moment?
Well, last night, boyfriend and I went out into Ubud town, and this is our first time like international traveling together.
Yes.
And so we were out in the town just exploring together, and we walked all around, and then we went and saw this gamelan orchestra.
Gamelan?
Yeah.
Do you want to explain to our lovers what a gamelan orchestra is?
I don't really know how to. It's kind of like xylophone-ish. Yeah. I don't. It was just, there was like 12 men on stage, each playing differently tuned, like xylophone long things. There were a few drummers. There was this one guy who had little cymbals. There were a few gongs. Anyway, but the erotic moment was we sat next to this Dutch man called Hans, and I don't remember exactly how we got talking to him, but we were like, hey, weren't you the guy that was riding the push bike earlier? Because there was this like fabulous man in a pink shirt riding a push bike, and everyone in Ubud is riding electric scooters or motorbikes or whatever. And so we noticed him anyway, and we got talking to him, and he was super cool. And then his friend who was coming to the show with him was a Hindu priest, and I got talking to him as well. Anyway, it was just one of those moments that you don't expect. And it was just a really nice point of connection with this random stranger who I was actually super aligned with.
Yeah.
And when the priest first came, he was like, oh no, Hans, you sit next to Claude because you guys are talking. And they were speaking Indonesian, but that's like what I inferred.
Yep.
And then he sat next to me, and then we were just chatting, and then I could see his like huge smile like spread across his face as he realized how awesome I was. And
of course.
Yeah, it was just a really nice moment with humanity, and it's like us white Australians and a Dutch man and a Indonesian Hindu priest all just sharing in this cultural experience.
Yeah.
And it was also like and I were just having a really rambunctious happy time, and we were sharing with these people, and yeah, it's just really nice.
Aw.
Yeah, it was good times.
Bless.
Yeah, we got a selfie with them as well.
Yeah.
To remember.
Yeah. You should post it on your Instagram.
Yeah, maybe I will. Keep a lookout.
That's really cool. Hey, talking about priests, can I share one more thing?
Yeah.
So it wasn't really erotic as such, but it was really cool. So one of the things that we do on this retreat, well, we do some Balinese type ceremonies as well, not as tourists, to watch and observe, but to actually be part of it, because it's part of the flow of the process and the journey that my participants are going on.
Yeah.
So one night we have a fire ceremony and burn stuff away.
Yeah.
And then the next day we go to this incredible temple.
We do.
Totally Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like it's 1,000 years old, and it's just like overgrown with jungle and stuff. And the water,
holy water.
And it's holy water, and we bathe in the holy water, which is really cool. And then we go and have a blessing by the priest.
Yes.
And this priest is the coolest woman you have ever met. Like she's nearly 100.
Yeah.
She said she doesn't know how old she is, but her husband just turned 101 or something.
Yeah, she said that she realized the other day that her husband was over 100, and therefore it must mean she's in her late 90s.
Yeah. And this woman, like she's the priest, and she's blessing us, and she got the biggest smile, And
Yeah, she's like
walking up
so
and,
mobile,
walking up and down these stairs, like
barefoot, dressed in all white.
yeah,
She had like weathered skin, like
Yeah.
as you would expect, but you could tell that where it was weathered was from her smiling so much.
yeah, yeah, and just so joyful. And even the priest the night before, some of the other participants who were there, and they were just going, like what really struck them was just how these priests were like are genuinely joyful.
Yeah.
Like they're genuinely talking about love and joy. And
Mhm.
yeah, so we had 3 priests for the fire ceremony the night before, and then this elderly female priest for the next day. And it was, it was just really cool. I loved that.
Yeah, lots of happy priests this week.
Yes. Lots of happy everybody this week.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mm,
love that.
indeed.
Another erotic week.
Yes. When you start seeing the world in this light, there's just eroticism.
Everywhere.
The eros energy is flowing.
So,
Mm.
your partner is your lover.
Your partner is your lover.
And I'll surmise the
Oh,
tripod.
you yeah, very good. Very
Okay.
good. Over to you, Claude.
So, just to recap last week's episode, because this is kind of continuing on, it's not necessarily a part 2, like you can listen to them in isolation, but to surmise, your relationship is like a tripod, and metaphorically, 3 legs. Logistics, friendship, lovers. Logistics, business of life. Business partners, teammates, yes, that's a good word. Friends, self-explanatory. Generally interested in each other, like hanging out.
Yeah. Enjoy each other.
And then lovers.
Yes.
You see each other as more than friends. You cultivate love and love energy together. But it's a bit more complicated than just that.
Yes.
There's a little bit more that goes into it.
Yes. Yeah, so I thought that this week we might just explore a little bit more about the practicalities of that lover.
How to
the
cultivate.
lover leg. Yeah. Because see, the thing is, as we all know, generally we fall in love. It's the whole Western ideal really, isn't it? That, you fall in love and that's why you become partners.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have to remember that at the beginning of a relationship, as you will know so well, my darling, because you're still in fairly early on, like it's nearly all the friendship leg. Like you're just spending lots of really cool time together. You're really enjoying each other.
Learning about each other.
Yep. And you don't have any of the logistics leg, really, virtually none, other than arranging the next time you're going to see each other.
Yeah.
Right. So lots and lots of friendship stuff, being interested in each other, having a good time, enjoying each other's company. So it's very easy to sort of feel the lover energy and to express the lover energy. But over time, see, one of the things that our wonderful brains do is that becomes very complacent around familiar items. You know? Like if you buy, your new jewelry and you're like, oh my God, look at my new rings. Aren't they amazing? And then, a few months on, you're like, it's just the old rings. Yeah. Or you buy a new car. It's like, oh, it's so exciting. Got my new car. And then some months on, it's just my car.
You get used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the same sort of thing. That means, you're driving home and you get home and you realize you haven't paid any attention. Right? Like your brain's in automatic. And our brain does that because it just couldn't cope with all of the information coming in all the time.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't pay attention to the familiar things.
Yeah.
And that can include your partner. Yeah. It's just you again. Yeah. So people can take each other for granted. They get complacent.
Yeah.
Right?
Used to it.
Yeah. So one of the things that you really have to do is to override that tendency of your brain and consciously, when I say consciously, I mean with attention and intention, see your partner as lover. Gratitude's part of it. Yeah, and I think it's really important for couples to keep reminding each other of how much they love each other, and why they love each other, and appreciation.
Yeah, in ways that resonate for the other person, not in just a way that you express it.
Yeah, right? It's not like, well, I'm a good cook. You're a good cook. I don't need to say, I love you. I don't need to say it. Yes, you do.
Over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Doesn't get old.
Yeah, if you see your partner looking nice, don't just think it. Say it. Yeah? And say it with a big smile on your face.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of what seeing your partner as lover, right? Consciously overriding it. And as you were saying before, like that's what essentially in many ways we were doing over the retreat by the end of it.
Yeah.
Like they were really seeing each other as lover.
Yeah, it was so cute. My favorite part is like they sit kind of separated at the start, and then at the end of it, they're all like holding hands and cuddling up together.
Yeah. And they get like really cuddly wuddly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Some
like,
of them more than others, obviously, but it's still a shift
Yeah.
in how they relate to each other, which
yeah,
is nice.
just sort of seeing their faces soften
Mm.
as they're looking at each other.
Yeah.
That's what I really love. Because you want to have a soft face with your beloved.
Yes, I was going to ask you to explain to the people,
Our lovers.
our lovers,
Mm.
what the magic of the facial expressions when you're in a long committed relationship with someone.
Yes, that's a really good point. And I think that's part of what we're talking about here. Because you see, we pick up so much information from faces. There are all these tiny little micro movements that our faces are doing. And we become very keenly attuned.
Yeah, even the teeniest, tiniest little thing.
Yeah. Right. So for a start, it's really important that we're actually looking at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really important that we understand how our expression affects our beloved.
Yes, because it really, really does.
Like if I'm looking at you like this, right, it's a bit scary. But if I'm looking at you like this, right, it's much more engaging.
Yeah.
Yeah. So part of it is about, like coming close together, having a soft face and a nice smile, and using terms of affection are really important as well. Like having your words for each other, whether it's, babe or love or honey pie or your own little cutie thing. I was on radio one time, Triple J, the hookup, and they asked people, all the listeners, to call in with their favourite terms for each other. Oh my God, it was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
There were so many of them, and so many of them actually had a story to go with it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it was
cute.
It was really sweet.
One of Wallace and Ollie, theirs is P.
P.
Yeah, because they're two peas in a pod.
Oh, they call each other P.
Yeah. It's so cute. The trending one on the internet right now is Pookie.
Pookie.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just like an Instagram couple. They call each other, he calls his wife Pookie, and so now it's like trending to be like Pookie.
Well, there you go, Pookie. Yeah. I just like Darl, short for darling. Darl. Hey, Darl. Hey, Darl. That's good.
Yeah, I like baby.
Yeah, that's what you two call each other, I've noticed. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. It's good. So, so all of these sorts of things enable us to, really be projecting that loving energy to each other, and the language we're using and the tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the listening.
Yes. Yes. And keep in mind, this is one of the things that we were talking about on the retreat, and I'm always saying to my clients is your tone affects your partner. And you need to know how it's being received. Because if you came from, say, a family that was really happy with noise and intensity and loudness and,
Weird. What family is like that?
If you come from a family like that, then you're quite comfortable with a level of intensity and loudness and stuff that feels familiar to you. But if your partner comes from a family that's very quiet and they don't interact very much, maybe they're an only child or whatever, not used to the, rumbling and tussling of siblings, then they might find that like really intense.
Yeah. And it would cause them to withdraw.
Yeah.
Therefore not be able to listen, not be able to express themselves, etc.
Exactly. So you need to know how your partner is receiving you. I mean, the most insane example was it's happened a couple of times in my clinic where a couple, sitting there talking and one's telling the other that like it's a little bit intense, Darl. And the other one's standing up going, I'm not intense. I'm not being intense. And the other one's kind of like, yes, you are. And I have to chime in and say, Yes, you are being intense.
Let me just take a photo for you so I can show you what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah. But similarly, some people are like really comfortable with quiet and don't think that they need to reach out so much. And
I was going to say is that to know how your partner is inferring your tone of voice.
Yeah.
That requires you to have that level of self-awareness already to be able to communicate that.
Yeah. Yes. Like you have to have self-awareness and you have to have other awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got to work with the two.
Yeah.
You've got to relate to your partner as they are,
Mm-hmm.
not as you want them to be or as you are, but as they actually are.
Yes. Two individuals creating a togetherness.
Indeed. Yes. And so when you see each other as lover, you're going beyond, coming back to the tripod, you're going beyond just being teammates, right? But you are teammates. It's very hard to be lovers if you're not teammates.
Yeah.
Right? If you can't, this is for people who live together and share a life together. You have to be able to manage the logistics of life.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to show appreciation and acknowledgement. Like that's part of the lover energy in that part of life. Yeah, helping out, saying, hey, thanks, doll, and hey, would you mind helping? And I really appreciate that. And
yeah, it just sounds like little extra moments that lead to a big sense of lover energy rather than like one big action that you do. It's lots and lots of little things. Intentional moments.
Yeah, and like oh my God, I can remember really early on in my career in this area, I remember saying to a couple, I'm like, you don't seem to like each other very much. And they're like, oh, no, we do. And I'm like, well, you don't act like you like each other. Like you're really horrible to each other. And, you talk really rudely and abruptly to each other.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, it was surprising that you're, not being intimate. I said, why don't you just practice being kind? And it transformed their relationship.
Wild.
Like nobody had ever pointed out to them. And I actually have to do this with a lot of my clients. Like you say you love each other, but you don't seem to like each other.
Yeah.
You're not being nice to each other. Like be polite.
Yeah.
Don't take your partner for granted. Be as polite to them as you would to anybody. Like you're probably politer to a stranger than you are to your beloved. It's crazy.
And it's also like this is someone that you like care for so much.
Yeah.
You have to like actively care for them, you know?
Yeah.
It's like if you had a diamond, you wouldn't be like throwing it around everywhere and like smashing it on tables. You'd be like, this is my precious diamond.
This is my precious thing. You are my precious thing.
Preciously put you down and preciously move you around.
I love it. Yeah. So like that's really important. So that's sort of how the lover energy infuses into the logistical leg, the teammates. We're teammates who love each other and appreciate and acknowledge each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we feel respected and appreciated. Yeah, and then the friendship one is really like, yeah, we are going to enjoy each other.
Yeah.
Right? And we are going to like together create spaces in our lives to enjoy each other.
Fun.
Have some fun.
Enjoyment.
Yeah, and laying down new memories and good memories, right? And having experiences that, lift your energy together and, create stories and interest in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Bonding.
Yeah, bonding, but also like getting that life force going.
Yeah.
Right? Because so many people, so many couples, they're just kind of
like roommates.
Well, yeah, all they do is the logistics. And then they kind of wonder why they're not having sex. It's like, well, I don't even know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then sometimes they relate to each other. Oh, God, here's a fantastic example, right? So there was this couple. It was one of my very first cases, actually.
Okay.
When I was specializing in this area.
Baby sex therapist.
I was a baby sex therapist. Yeah. Well, not quite. It was like about 20 years ago. Anyway, and this guy comes to see me. Early 40s, Italian, Australian background and stuff. And he was saying, they had a couple of kids, married since they were been together since they were 21 or something. And he goes, well, my wife's very conservative, Italian upbringing and stuff. So, our sex life's pretty dull. So I need to have affairs to, just fulfill that part of my life.
Right.
I'm like, okay. Can I meet your wife? So I met the wife, similar age, background, both. And she goes, well, we met when we were really young and, he's kind of conservative, Italian background. So the sex is really dull. So I need to have affairs to fill myself in. I'm kind of like, you two really need to get to know each other now. Not as you were as, like naive 21-year-olds when you first met, but as mature, experienced, middle-aged people with life. And co-create a really good sex life together.
Yeah, it seems like neither of them are very conservative anymore.
No, not anymore. But they're sort of like they hadn't. And again, I mean, this is also about seeing your partner as a lover and a lover who changes and evolves over time.
Yeah, you want to grow together rather than growing separately.
Yeah. And so, they'd grown together in the logistical side of life, but they hadn't grown together in the lover. Kind of life. So.
Well, friendship or lover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you're friends, you wouldn't feel the need to branch out.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's a lot of how you bring that lover energy into the rest of life. And that means that when you have created beautiful spaces and you're getting on and, things are in order in your life logistically and stuff.
Yeah.
Then it's really like, well, hey, babe, hi. How about a kiss? Can I give you a foot massage while we have a glass of wine and catch up on the day? And
okay, just like imagine this, right? POV, your day as lovers. Wake up, stare into each other's eyes. How did you sleep? Was it amazing? Cuddle, maybe a little penis vagina action. Maybe not. Either way, feeling connected.
Yes.
Maybe one of you wakes up really early.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they bring you a little cup of coffee. Say, I love you so much. You leave for the rest of the day. Maybe a few check-ins, a few little messages, a few little love hearts.
Yep.
A little, how are you doing? How is your day going?
Yep.
Come back at the end of the day. Another big hug.
Oof.
Oh, and one thing that you said that I learned actually at this retreat is that you have to hug until you feel them relax.
Yes.
When you've been apart. Yeah. Have that hug.
Hug to relax.
Maybe a little butt touch, little body rubbing action. Whatever. Then make dinner. If you have a family, with the family.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a family, you make dinner together. Little kisses, little neck kisses. Oh my God, baby, you're so good at cooking. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. And then, I don't know, put your children to bed or put yourselves to bed. And then it's like, wow, I've had this whole day of tiny little moments of love and connection with you. And now we're finally together again so that we can actually actively exist in all of this space that we've had created all day together.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful.
It is.
And it's all those tiny little moments that build up to that big sense of togetherness.
And then hopefully you've created some space in your evening where it's just a little bit of a chat or a foot rub or a nice cuddle on the couch or getting to bedroom a bit earlier so that you can hang out a bit.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you've got the non-linear approach to lovemaking, that also weaves its way through all of this. So none of these lovely little affectionate connecting times, it's not a green light to have sex.
Yeah.
It's just whatever it is. It's just lovely and connecting.
Yeah.
And sometimes it will lead to genital activity and other days it won't. It'll just be absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, but the goal is connecting and gratitude and making sure that both of you feel seen and appreciated. And
and it's love.
Yeah.
And it's erotic.
It is erotic. But obviously, whatever daily routine you have, you do actively have to logistically figure out a way to make it work for you.
Yes.
Another conversation.
Within your life, your own individual life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you can't, something that you say all the time is, if you can't manage to find that time, you're probably not going to have a good relationship.
No, you just won't.
No.
Like sometimes my clients say to me, but we haven't got time to connect. We don't have time to have a conversation. I'm like, well, then don't expect to have a good relationship. I mean, it's simple. It's like if I was a personal trainer and I said, well, you need to do your push-ups and go for your run and, eat healthy. And I haven't got time for that.
Well, you're probably not going to get stronger.
And then you're not going to get fit and healthy. Like, don't waste my time. Don't waste your money, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same. And as I'm saying over and over, anything good in life takes focus.
Yeah.
Right? And these are the kind of things that you need to do to have a good relationship.
And it's very, very rewarding.
Very rewarding.
Very, very rewarding.
Yes.
2 varies.
Very, very extremely, amazingly, outrageously rewarding. So always see your partner as lover.
Yeah. Actively.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's definitely a different relationship that you have to everyone else, you know.
It certainly is.
And make it one.
Yes, and make it special.
Put some fucking effort in it, I swear to God.
Are we allowed to say the F word on our podcast?
Yeah, it's our podcast. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
So used to going on like radio and stuff. You've got to curtail the words they say.
And do you want to surmise?
Well, yes, to surmise, always see your partner as lover.
Mm-hmm.
Never get complacent. Be conscious, not complacent.
Yeah.
Right? And be continuously putting little things into your lives together, both of you. It goes both ways. So that you've got that potentized sexual life force energy, potentizing your love. So it's just this loveliness that you're sharing with each other.
Yeah. And grow together, not apart.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine how fucking boring it would be if everyone stayed the same all the time?
Yeah.
Awful.
Well, it is boring. That's what a lot of relationships are.
Yeah.
They're just dull. They're not growing. It's kind of stultified. Yeah. But not our lovers.
No.
Our lover listeners.
They're going to have some really good conversations about how to cultivate the love energy in little ways and big ways. And they're going to carve out chunks of time to do so.
Yes.
Little, big, whatever.
And we'd love to hear what you're discovering in your own relationship. If you want to share, it's always great to hear.
Yeah, do it. DM us.
Yes.
All right, some questions. Are you ready?
Questions.
Are you ready?
You
ready?
Question. Yes. I'm ready, my darling.
3 questions today.
3 questions. Okay.
The first one is, with the non-linear approach,
yes,
how do you know when to stop?
I've been asked this before. Yeah. No, it's a good question, right? Because when you're doing the standard, linear approach, well, you stop when he's ejaculated.
Yeah.
Generally.
Or if he's really nice, after he's ejaculated, he'll then make you come and then.
Yeah. Or, one's had an orgasm and then the other one's had an orgasm.
Yeah.
We're done. Tick, tick. Orgasms achieved.
Sex over.
Yes. Right. But if your KPI is not orgasm, then it's like, well, how do we know when to finish? Yeah. And you finish when in the moment you're feeling like, hey, I'm kind of done. I'm feeling done. And you can say to your beloved, yeah, I'm kind of feeling done. Where are you at?
What if your partner's not feeling done?
Oh, well, then you have another conversation about what they might need to feel done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also your partner's not there to appease your needs all the time. So if one person is feeling done.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah. And maybe the other, if they just want to finish off with a nice little play in front of you or with you or something.
Yeah.
But the main thing is, from my own experience and from others I've spoken to who have shifted to the nonlinear approach, you just kind of start feeling into it. It's just like, hey, that was really good. Maybe one's suggesting something, you're like, oh, not now, let's just have a nice cuddle, and you might continue the next day. Or even if you are intercoursing and you're not ejaculating, just kind of like, you're having these kind of waves of orgasmic waves, and you sort of kind of coming out, just like, oh, it's just feeling really good there. Yep, I'm feeling complete. I'm feeling sated. It's a very different feeling, and in many ways much more satisfying.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's really about getting better at being self-aware and being able to communicate in the moment.
Yeah.
And being aware of, where your partner is at, because if they're in a different space, that's cool. Let them sort of share where they're at and
co-create something else.
You co-create. Yep, you get there. It's great. It's so much easier.
That was quite an easy answer. How do you know when to stop? When it feels right.
When it feels right, yeah.
All right, question number 2.
What?
My husband has a hairy back and I've asked him to wax it, but he says I should love him as he is. Please help.
Yeah, look, that's an interesting one. Yeah, look, like when there's something about your partner that kind of turns you off.
Ick.
A little bit ick. Yeah. look, I mean, there's some things that you can't do anything about, right? So you just need to accept them.
No one is perfect.
Yeah, no one is perfect. But I kind of think like if there's something that they can change, then change it. Like if a guy's got a beard and his partner doesn't like the beard, well, remove the beard.
Yeah.
Or modify the beard.
Or at least try it out for a little bit rather than just being like, fuck no.
Yeah, yeah. Or, if someone's, I don't know, got a bit of a smelly BO or something and their partner's like, could you? Or actually one that I come across a lot is actually smelly mouth. Yeah, bad breath and stuff because, like if someone's got bad breath, it's really hard to want to kiss them.
Yeah.
Or get close to them. So, there's things that you can do. Snoring's another one, right? Like if a partner's snoring, that can affect a relationship. So, do the things you need to do to stop snoring if you can. Like there's lots of different approaches. So if we're talking about something like a hairy back, which can be removed with wax, admittedly probably a little bit painful. I would be encouraging the gentleman in question just to see what it's like, just to see how his partner reacts when he has a smooth back.
Yeah. And what I'm getting from that is like, if it increases someone else's comfortability, it's definitely worth it. Yeah. But if it's something like absolutely boundary crossing, then I don't know, maybe it's just not going to work out for you guys.
Yeah, like if he really feels like, no, I really need my beloved to accept me in my entirety, hairy back and all.
Like I hate removing my body hair.
Yes, you
so much.
Yeah,
it makes me feel itchy. I hate it. I hate the sensation of like I keep it well maintained, guys. Don't worry, but I hate removing it completely. It's my least favorite. So if a partner asked me to do that, I would probably be like, well, that's just absolutely not happening.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is fine. Which is totally fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it does get a little bit more complicated if there are like kids involved, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, it's sounding like they must be a reasonably new couple. I mean, you don't suddenly develop back hair.
Back hair phobia.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one. And, do have loving conversations and it's tricky to bring it up.
Definitely.
I mean, the fact that she's saying to him, hey, doll, look, don't love the back hair. Like she's being vulnerable and so try not to take it too personally.
Yeah, it's also kind of hard when someone is being vulnerable and then you get shut down immediately. Yeah. Just like, well, you should love me like I am. And it's like, well, it's kind of having trouble with that. So,
yeah. Yes, good question.
Yeah, I guess you guys just going to have to talk about it.
Got to have to talk about it and talk about it lovingly. Like, actually, Dal, I really think you're absolutely gorgeous and I love your body and I love your mind and everything. However, there's this one little thing about you which, I wish I didn't feel this way, but I do.
Yeah. And I guess also if you explain it and they understand where you're coming from.
Yes.
So like for me, if they asked me, I'd be like, I would, but I like the sensory feeling of the hair growing back is too much for me and I can't do it.
Yes, yes.
And then or otherwise it would be, I hate the way that the sweat rolls off your sweaty back. That is a complete turn off and I'm not going to be able to have sex with you if the hair is there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like both ways. You have to cultivate that understanding so you can see where each other is coming from and then find a way forward.
Yes, yes.
Hopefully together.
So hopefully that helps. All right, number 3.
Okay. I know we need sex therapy, but my partner says we should be able to fix it ourselves. How can I convince him?
Yes, I do often get one partner coming to see me and the other one is very reluctant. Look, this belief that we should be able to fix our relationships and different aspects of it, like our intimate life together, is kind of like, but we don't have the information.
Yeah.
It's like we have experts for every other part of life. We have doctors and dentists and accountants. It's kind of like someone being like,
my tooth is rotten.
Yeah, I need to fix it.
Yeah, fix it yourself. We should be able to fix it ourselves.
Yeah, my car's not working. Oh, I need to try and fix it.
Yeah, doesn't make sense.
No. No, I don't have any money in the bank and I don't know how to invest. Oh, well, I'll just try something else, So that's partly what I always encourage these people, and I encourage the questioner to say, look, sweetheart, this isn't an area that we have any training in whatsoever.
Yeah. And it's something that is really important that we fix.
Yeah.
I want to do it well.
Yeah. Like, let's have the best relationship we possibly can, So why don't we go and see someone who has devoted their life to becoming an expert in this area?
Yeah.
Like we do with our personal trainer and our financial advisor and our accountant and our doctor and our dentist and blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that may help. The other thing that may help is some people have an aversion to the word therapy.
Silly.
Yeah. But some people don't like the idea, I'm going to have to unburden myself and, they're going to dig into my childhood and, reveal all of this stuff and, we're going to have to go for years, don't like the word therapy. So I say, look, tell them it's coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's coaching. Like, we're good. We want to be better.
Yeah.
We want someone who can give us the information that we don't have because they're specialist and who operates really positively and is encouraging.
And has experience as well.
Yes. So very often calling it coaching rather than therapy can help. So those are my 2 bits of advice. One, just point out like, hey, we're not experts and we have experts help us in every other part of life. And like, let's consider it coaching.
Yeah.
If we want to learn to play tennis, we're going to get a tennis coach. So, yeah.
I guess it's also because sex is so taboo still as well.
Yeah.
People don't like sharing.
Yeah.
But that just makes it even more insular, which is tricky.
Yeah. But often people find like if I have one person come, when they go back home and, they see their partner and if they're acting very positively, like, hey, actually that was really cool.
Yeah.
Like she's really cool. It was easy to talk and got some good advice. So if you're coming back from having your therapy session on your own, being positive about it and upbeat and, your partner can see like, oh, okay, like there must be something positive in this.
Yeah.
Then they're more likely to go.
Cultivate safety.
Yeah. Yes.
And you can also send them this podcast.
Well, that would be another one. Yeah. Like there are resources like this one where together you can sit down and listen.
Yeah.
And maybe say, hey, darling, let's
or you can listen separately and then come together and talk about it.
Yeah. But don't keep sending your partner things going, hey, you should watch this. You should listen to this. You should read this. Because then it's going like, no, stop hassling me.
Yeah.
So you need to do it discreetly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with a reasoning maybe, just so they understand why it is important.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, not that you need to read this or you need to listen to this because I'm like, whoa, don't tell me what I should be doing.
Yeah.
But just like, hey, I found this really interesting and I've learned a lot from it. And I'd love it if you had this information as well. So,
yeah,
maybe we could sit down, have a listen this evening, a glass of wine, or give you a foot massage, like make it an appealing thing for them to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could also go on someone's couples retreats.
And can I just say, like if you don't like the idea of therapy or coming in for private sessions, like you may well love a retreat.
Yeah.
Sometimes people say they don't want to go on a retreat because, they feel too exposed in front of other people. And I'm like, it's way less exposing than being in my therapy clinic.
For sure.
Because then it's just me looking at you two.
And you don't have the example of everyone else also letting go around you.
Yeah, and just the loveliness of the group vibe in beautiful spaces. And like you're just kind of learning it at your own pace and you're discussing it together. Like you're not sort of under the microscope quite as much. So good little plug there for the retreats.
I know. I'm great at this.
You are.
So when's the next one?
The next barley one?
Yep.
So I've got 2 booked in for next year. So the first one is the 2nd to the 6th of June.
Mm-hmm.
And the one after that is currently down for December, but I think I might bring it forward to November. So
watch this space.
Final dates TBA. And for my 3-day retreat in Australia.
Blue Monties.
In the Blue Mountains, just outside Sydney. The next one is the 14th to the 16th of February.
Oh, coming up.
Valentine's Day.
Oh my God.
And it's nearly full.
Oh,
so
get in.
Yeah. And then after that, it's May, I think. May and then October.
I'll link
or
it in the show
something.
notes.
Yeah.
Not to say that you have to go on these retreats,
No.
but
I haven't got room for everyone.
but it is a good way to get the information.
Mm.
And if you have the resources, it's good to invest in your relationship.
Oh, absolutely it is.
There are also a plethora of online courses
Yes,
on the
on my
website
online
as well.
courses.
But I'll link everything in the show notes.
Yes.
Because we're done for today.
We're done for today. Well, we fly back in a few hours. So
Sad.
I think we need to go back and hang out by the pools a bit more.
Yeah, priority number 1.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Gotta go.
But as always,
Mm.
thank you for listening.
Yep.
Thank you to Paul Seals for our intro and outro song.
Yep.
Linked in the show notes.
Yep.
Thank you to Claude. Editing,
Yes.
podcasting, scheduling,
Does it all.
producing, being
Does it
hot.
all. Being hot. Extremely hot.
If
Takes after their mother.
if you want to see us in the flesh on the screen, you can watch us on YouTube.
Not OnlyFans. This is not an OnlyFans plug.
No.
In the flesh.
Well, I guess because this is like auditory. If you want to see us
Yes.
visually,
Yes.
head over to the YouTube. There's been a bit of a delay while we were in Bali
Mhm.
with the uploads. Hopefully you can understand why.
Yeah. A bit busy.
Bali. You can also see us on Instagram on the My Mum's a Sex Therapist page. That's where you can send in your dilemmas, questions, or
Yes.
feedback.
Yeah.
But if you want to see some more of my mum, you can find her at
Instagram is Jacqueline.Hellier. Facebook is Love Life by Jacqueline Hellier.
Whoa,
and-
you've never done a Facebook bug before.
Yeah, no, well, not everyone's Instagram. Some people like Facebook, so got them both. And my website is www.jacquelinehellier.com. Got heaps of stuff on there.
Get into it, guys.
Yeah.
Cultivate that lover energy.
Yeah.
And then until next time,
Until next time,
hope you love your life.
love life.
Bye.